Speaking about passionate, man, Wolverine.
X-Men, let's go!
Dude.
Love.
20 years of
Yeah.
Wolverine.
That's
Can
great.
you, when I found out that X-Men Legends turned 20 years old last year, hold on.
Wait.
Is he getting what I think he is? Is he? Let me see. Let me see him. Go ahead.
They always come out, baby. They're always here.
Go ahead.
It still hurts every single time they come out, but worth it, bub. No, I love Wolverine.
Wolverine's great, and it's so funny. I got to speak to Cal Dodd a few months ago.
yeah?
And he was talking about meeting you and your guys' conversation. Can't wait to post that clip. It's so crazy what you guys satisfy for me as a Wolverine fan. Like, depending on the day, I could go, pick on who is my favorite. And It's so funny, your Wolverine is so many people. I remember when X-Men 97 came out, some people were mad that Cal Dodd got casted because they're like, well, why isn't Steve Wolverine? You had to come out and we're like, no, this is Cal's thing. I've never been a part of the original show.
Yeah.
This is all Cal.
I was fighting for Cal from day one. Yeah, I auditioned for it. They made me, well, I didn't. They sent me the audition for that, and I actually refused it. And I said, just get Cal. He's available, I'm sure. Get him. And gratefully, they did, because he was the right person for the job.
That's crazy to think about, though. What's also crazy, and I kind of hate the industry for this, but you said that every time you play Wolverine, you have to audition for it.
I do.
So you had to audition for Marvel Rivals as Wolverine?
I believe I did, yes. Yeah, because they want to make sure that I can still do it. Because I'm in my 60s now. So they want to make sure that I can still do it and then I can still sustain it for 4 hours at a time or through an entire game or show. So they, I think it's due diligence that they have us audition. Some people have a real burr in their butt about it. It's annoying sometimes because every once in a while it's like, guys, there's 20 years of doing this. Can you just listen to that? And I can tell you that I can still do it. But no, they'll run me through the paces. Sometimes there's even a callback and whatever. And it's a new production team, so they have to prove their worth. So I get all that. It's fine. And sometimes it's annoying to me, but I just have to suck it up and say, no, I still get to audition for this. So yeah. Yeah, but I think I did audition for that, if I remember right.
How has your approach to the role of Wolverine changed between X-Men Legends and even the most recent title, Marvel Rivals?
Wolverine is Wolverine for me. Sometimes it gets more feral or less feral. That's pretty much it. Sometimes I berserker barrage and sometimes I don't. The only difference really when Wolverine completely changed up was in Superhero Squad.
I'll never get the peace and quiet you need for a fight around here.
Where
it was kind of a chibi version of him, but he was still angry all the time, and he would still say, back off, bub.
It was still Wolverine, just in a different form. But I did have to change it up and make it more user friendly. I couldn't, put the inferred cussing in it. So that was the only time. And he actually got to say snicked out loud, which the onomatopoeia for the sound of the claws coming out, which you see in the comics, it's always snicked, S-N-I-K-T, which I had on my license plate on my car for years. I still have as a license plate frame on my new car. But I actually got to say that out loud. I got to say snicked as the claws were coming out. So that's the only time when we really changed Wolverine up completely. Other than that, it's the same old bub every single time. Just a little bit softer or harder or more feral, I think, are really the only parameters that change for him. But the dialogue even is very similar. And sometimes I feel like they don't have enough bubs because he does say bub or, some of the Wolverine jargon that he's come up with over the years. So every now and then I will insert a little bit of that into the current dialogue, especially if the writers aren't familiar with Wolverine. And sometimes they aren't. And they won't even write in Wolverine-isms and it doesn't sound like him anymore. So I'll do it the way they ask me to. And then I will ask politely if I can add a few little nuances in there that I know the fans love and that they've always responded to. So I try not to be that dick like, well, Wolverine would never say it this way. I do it as written, and then I try to add that stuff in later.
Sick, man. And I don't know of a better person to do it with so much history with this character. For Marvel Rivals, did you audition for Wolverine or Venom first? Do you remember how that happened, or was one the consequence of another?
I think I auditioned for them both at the same time, because generally when we audition for games, they'll give us a list of characters to choose from, and we audition for a whole pile of them. I auditioned for a lot of characters for that, but we recorded Venom first. So I didn't even know for sure that I was going to get Wolverine until much later on. So gratefully, they let me do it. And it was a completely different look for him and everything. I never saw any of that stuff until we actually recorded. But yeah, Venom was first. So another character that was, way down in here. So Venom is always painful all the time, but worth it. Another one of those characters. It's worth it.
Venom, what's so interesting is like I love hearing the different variations of Venom you do, because in Ultimate Alliance 3, Venom is more, it's kind of higher, it's like more in your head kind of range, but with Marvel Rivals it's more, I'm Venom.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, it's right here.
Full monster, yeah.
Yeah, it's full monster. It's so exciting. It's been so awesome to see how well received Marvel Rivals has become. Like,
I'm really happy about it. Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool.
And I think what's so awesome about, I'm kind of iffy about live service games a lot of the time, just because you hear so many horror stories. Like Concord, of course, was a live service game that unfortunately got canned by PlayStation. But the thing about live service games is like Wolverine and Venom, like you are basically going to be playing those guys until the game ends. You know what I'm saying? And then they're always adding new heroes. Like they just added Mr. Fantastic and stuff. Yeah. And they could even add heroes, characters you've played like Green Goblin or Bullseye or you never know.
I'm available. Yeah.
That's all you can say. I'm available, man.
Please hire me. Yeah.
if you can't see the giant sign above Steve's head, that's what it says. Please hire me.
Still a horror after all these years. Please hire me. Yes.
I'm crying. But of course, you played Wolverine in the Marvel vs. Capcom games, and of course, Ultimate Alliance. So I'm curious if there is any difference. What is the difference between recording for Marvel Rivals and like recording for Marvel vs. Capcom?
Couldn't tell you honestly. It's the same process for me. It's I'm in the studio. They give me the assignment, and I just try to do the best I can. Recording process is very similar for them. I think Marvel vs. Capcom, if I remember right, was a little more frenetic in pace. We had to get more done in a day. We had a little more time, if I recall, with Marvel Rivals, and possibly because I've gotten better at it too, that the sessions just went faster. So in terms of the actual character performance, really the same. Yeah. And I just try to, perform as best I can without blowing myself out. So I do at this stage in my career too, I will let them know much more readily if I'm starting to feel pain and I have to shut it down. Back when I was doing Marvel vs. Capcom, it was like, no, bring it. I'll just do whatever you want. And I'll just blast through everything. Now it's like 2 hours and I go, guys, can we pick this up another time? So I'm just more conscious of the destruction of the instrument at this point. I've learned a lot more about the anatomy of the throat and stuff. So I'm a little more careful now than I used to be.